Public funding should mean public access. Every year, research studies are conducted with the fiscal support of government entities. Yet, these studies, funded with taxpayer money precisely because of their importance to the public interest, are largely published in academic journals whose steep subscription fees place it out of reach of the average person. Now, here I need to decide the correct pronoun, and I'm saying that these studies are largely published in academic journals whose steep subscription fees place these journals out of the reach of the average person. So that's plural. So I need a plural pronoun. So that would be them, right? These steep subscription fees place them out of reach of the average person. So not it, not that, and not this. To rectify this situation, the results of government-funded research should be published in a form that is freely accessible to the public. This arrangement gives private organizations control over information that should be available for the benefit of people around the globe. To make this paragraph most logical, sentence 3 should be placed where? So if you look at the flow of the paragraph, here I'm talking about the problem with access to these studies that are funded by the government. And then I'm saying this arrangement gives private organizations control over public information. And here in this sentence 3, I'm saying to rectify this situation, the results of government funded research should be published in a form that is freely accessible to the public. So if you think about it, 1, 2, and 4 go together because the introduction of the problem in sentence 2 is continued in sentence 4, and sentence 3 offers a solution to the problem. So sentence 3 should come after sentence 4. Option D. One platform that is becoming increasingly popular for free access to research is the open access database. These databases include academic papers that can be read by anyone at no charge, and they're already being championed by some national agencies and governments. The National Institutes of Health in the US, for example, has had an open access policy in place since 2008. Recognizing the importance of access to biomedical research for patients, doctors, and others, the NIH's requirement is that any papers resulting from NIH funding be deposited in the open access database PubMed Central. Now here I need to decide the correct punctuation. So recognizing the importance of access to biomedical research for patients, doctors, and others. So this is a list and every item in the list is presented, separated by commas. So the way it's written looks good. So I like A. Now, if I say biomedical research for patients and for doctors, then this and others will be left hanging. So option B is not correct. Okay, if I put a semicolon and say also doctors and others, then that is not correct because a semicolon is only used within a list when the items themselves have commas. So C is wrong. And then access for is not correct because access to research for patients is already in the sentence. So A. Now here I need to decide the correct segment. And this part before the comma is a modifier. Because I'm saying recognizing the importance of access. So who is recognizing the importance of access? The NIH. So when you have a modifier in a sentence, the part after the modifier should start with the subject the modifier refers to. So I can't say the NIH's requirement because the subject here is requirement. So it's not A. The NIH requires. This is correct because NIH is the subject. So B is the answer. It is a requirement or any papers. None of those start with the subject NIH. So the answer is B. The government of the United Kingdom has applied this principle more broadly. A 2012 policy mandated that all government-funded research in the UK be made available to the public free of charge. In a report submitted to the UK government that helped provide the basis for the 2012 mandate, a group led by sociologist Janet Finch asserted that many benefits could result if we were to move worldwide to an open access regime, including increased public support for government funding of research. Which choice best sets up the example in the next paragraph? Okay, so we'll come back to this. Consider the case of Jack Endraka, a Maryland high school student who announced in 2012 that he had achieved a medical breakthrough, a diagnostic test for pancreatic cancer that costs only 3 cents per use and is over 400 times more sensitive than other tests. Crucial to Endraka's work was published research he had found for free online. That research that he found for free included what he found in PubMed Central. Without open access, he could not have retrieved research essential to the development of his test. Okay, which choice most effectively combines the sentences at the underlined portion? So crucial to Endraka's work was research that had been published and that he had found for free online, including in PubMed Central. Crucial to Endraka's research was published research he had found for free online, including in PubMed Central. Published research online, including in PubMed Central, as well as the fact that he had found it for free. Research, including what he had found published online in PubMed Central, that was free. So the right answer here is option B. It's the most concise option and conveys the meaning without distortion. So I'm saying that crucial to his work was published research that he had found for free online, including in PubMed Central. Now, if you look at option A, research that had been published and that he had found for free online. So this is needlessly long. I can connect these two fragments the way I have done in option B. So it's not A. Published research online, including in PubMed Central, as well as the fact that he had found it for free. So again, the fact that he had found it for free can just be included in the first part, so not C. And research, including what he had found published online in PubMed Central, that was free. So here again, I think the meaning is not conveyed clearly. We need to say that all research that he had found was free online, and included in that was the research in PubMed Central. So B is the best answer. Some are concerned that open access publications will be too expensive to maintain in the absence of subscription fees. However, online publishing is cheaper compared with traditional publishing as it eludes the costs of physical production. Okay, so online publishing is cheaper than traditional publishing, right? I don't need to say compared with because this is simply a case of comparative. So cheaper than is correct. So cheaper compared with, cheaper when comparing it with, or cheaper more so than. So options B and C are needlessly long, right? And are redundant as well. So the best answer is D. However, online publishing is cheaper than traditional publishing as it eludes the costs of physical production and distribution. So here I'm talking about the fact that online publishing eliminates the cost of physical production and distribution. To elude is used in the sense of to run away from something, to not be captured. For example, the thief eluded the police. So that does not fit the context of eliminating the costs. To isolate is to separate something, right? For example, the reagent was isolated from the solution. So that also doesn't fit the context. And to ban is to not allow something to happen. So I can't use it in the context of costs. So B is the best answer. One online publisher, the database RXIV, spends only $10 per paper accepted, an expense covered by donations. Open access then is a viable option. So here I need to decide the correct punctuation, and my main sentence is one online publisher spends only $10 per paper accepted. And the database RXIV is the name of this publisher. So I can put it between a pair of commas or a pair of dashes. But since I already have a closing comma here, I would need to have a starting comma. So it would be option C. I can't have a dash, a colon, or a semicolon. Which choice best supports the overall point of the paragraph? Okay, so here we are saying that the cost of online journals is less because you don't have to physically produce and distribute them. And then the passage says one online publisher spends only $10 per paper accepted, an expense covered by donations. So this actually reiterates the point of the paragraph that you don't need a lot of money to publish online journals, and whatever little is required can be covered by donations. So I like option A, each of which is revised by experts to ensure topicality and adherence to scholarly standards. Those submissions are limited to math and science topics, and users can even sign up to be notified when new papers are posted. So none of these are correct because the idea here is to talk about covering costs, right? It's not about topicality of what's published or what the submissions are limited to and the user experience. So A is the best answer. Open access then is a viable option. At this point, the writer wants a conclusion that summarizes the main argument of the passage. Which choice best accomplishes this goal? Proponents hope that it will provide the basis for more medical innovation around the world. The effect it has on publishing models proves that online-only publications are the way of the future. Through it, research is obtainable by anyone with an internet connection, not just a privileged few. Its global success shows that governments should be investing more money in scientific research. So this is C, because the point of the passage is that you should not have important documents, important data behind a paywall. Anybody with an internet account should be able to access it from anywhere in the world. So that's what option C is saying, that open access is the way to go because research can be obtained by anyone, not just those who can pay for it. Now, medical innovation, that's not the main point of the passage. This is a very specific kind of innovation that can come from access to research. So it's not A. The effect it has on publishing models is, again, not something the passage focuses on. And what government should be doing in terms of scientific research is also not the focus of the passage. So C. Okay, so we have one question left. This one. So we needed to introduce the example in the next paragraph. And the example here was saying that this person, Jack Endraka, was able to come up with a cheap diagnostic kit for pancreatic cancer because he had access to a lot of free material through PubMed Central. So including increased public support for government funding of research, improved quality of articles published in academic journals, reduce time spent by professionals locating current information, innovation stemming from public engagement with research. So it's D, because what Endraka did was an innovation that happened because he was able to access all of these documents. So public support for government funding, that's not what the next paragraph talks about. Quality of articles, no. And reduce time spent by professionals. So none of these are discussed in the next paragraph. So it's D. Okay, let's grade this. 34. C, D, A, B, D. C, D, A, B, D. 39. B, D, B, C, A, C. B, D, B, C, A, C. Okay, great. So we got all correct.